Welcome back, everyone. I just wanted to start by once again thanking the conference's sponsors, Pain BC, the Strategy for Patient-Oriented Research's Chronic Pain Network, the Canadian Institutes of Health Research's Institute of Musculoskeletal Health and Arthritis, and the Partnership for the Engagement of Patients with Pain Research Project in Health Canada. Again, many of our presenters today will share stories and perspectives shaped by their individual lived experiences, and so the views expressed don't necessarily represent the views of Pain Canada or our sponsors. And for those who haven't joined us previously, just a reminder that these sessions are being recorded and you will be able to access them after the conference on Pain Canada's YouTube channel. So we are excited to welcome you to the second session for today, digital storytelling. I know I'm personally excited about this one. Please be reminded that today's session will be recorded and we have French interpretation and closed captions available for you. And I'm going to pass it along to Sandra Monroe, who will lead this session. Thanks, Sandra.
Oh, thanks. I think I think we have I don't think I'm speaking right now. I'm just working around in the background, but thank you very much. And I really appreciate the invite. I'm going to pass it to Jenny to moderate this session.
I'm going to say, Sandra, though, it's great to see your face. You have been instrumental in helping us put this together. So you at least deserve that recognition and acknowledgement. Grateful for you.
I wasn't expecting that. So thank you.
Welcome, everyone, to this Art and Stories session entitled Painful Truths, Common Threads in a Tapestry of Chronic Pain and Identity. My name is Jenny Lorca. I'm a steering committee member for the Putting the Pieces Together conference. And I'm an uninvited guest and settler of color on the unceded, traditional, and stolen lands of the Coast Salish First Nations, namely the Staulo, Katzie, Kwantlen, Kukwetlam, Kikite, Semiahmoo, and Tsawwassen First Peoples, where my family and I currently live, as well as the lands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations, where my family first sought a new home. We give gratitude and respect to the First Peoples, Inuit, and Métis, past, present, and future, who continue to live in, care for, and have stewardship over this land. Dabi Dabipo. Today, we'll be viewing 4 deeply personal digital stories, part of a collection of 8 presented during this conference. The second set of stories will be on Thursday, November 6th. Each storyteller participated in a digital storytelling project exploring the lived experience of chronic and persistent pain and its impact on identity. These stories may evoke strong emotions or unexpected responses. So we ask that you please care for yourself as you watch, and whether that means shifting your position, taking a break, or returning later. Each session, all of these sessions, not just this one, but all throughout the conference, these sessions are recorded and available for viewing at your own pace. To learn more about the storytellers, please visit their bios provided for this session. And if you have comments or feedback for the storytellers, please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, or feel free to use indiscriminate, glorious emojis anytime. All feedback will be shared with the storytellers, and that in itself will help with the planning of future events. So let's begin with our first story, I Choose to Make Lemonade by Heather Dick.
This is me. Lemon is one of my favorite things. The flavor is bright, a treat, both tart and sour, but when it bakes with some honey or something else sweet, you get wonderful. But if we are talking just lemons, a symbol explaining life, living pain that becomes my whole world, the feelings of hopelessness, loneliness, strife, is all that is left of me. But it's not what I want to become. I want more than pain is my life, with a false empty smile to show to the world really only one choice. I choose fight. I choose to save me, the positive me, who sees hope, not rain, but the rainbow. Instead of becoming an empty shell, I decide that pain as my life has to go, while I still care enough to make changes. So, this is me making lemonade. What do I do when the basket's too full and the lemons are overflowing? What do I do when life's just too hard to keep up? It's just too overwhelming. I stop to consider and ponder the load that has led to this fork in my life, embracing the pain and the loss that I feel. Keep on going, my choice to fight. It takes will every day, looking forward, not back, making choices that lead me to feel. Choosing joy in each moment, then hour and day, each small step is starting to heal. Not my body, myself, not diseases, my heart. Then my mind can move forward, not back. I accept who I am, my heart, body, and mind. Only then I see color, not black. Yes, life is still hard, but my focus has changed to see and create more positive things and to stop and give thanks for the life that I have, not dwelling on pain, what it brings. With my basket of lemons, I choose to create lemonade, oh so yummy, lemon cookies and loaf, and oh lemon pie, until I feel life can be sunny. When I started this journey, looking forward by choice, sometimes I would sneak a peek back, but what I saw there was cloudy and gloomy, alone, melancholy, attacked. Choosing more, though it's painful, pain is not my life, is something that makes me have hope. A future, though different, can still bring me joy. I am not merely learning to cope. Painting rocks and on canvas, telling stories that reach other people to choose something better. My kitchen smells grand, making lemons taste heavenly. Looking forward is taking my stand. And so I choose to make lemonade.
Thank you so much, Heather. It means a lot to see your reaction as we are watching this too. So thank you. Our next digital story, entitled Here I Am, is by Vasilisa Kalinina. She's unfortunately not here today, so it is my pleasure to be able to introduce this to you.
What does it mean to be seen? Not just looked at, but truly seen. Most of my life, I've looked fine on the outside, strong, capable, even full of life-giving energy at times. But inside, I've carried unimaginable pain and suffering. It started when I was a young girl experiencing intense stomach pains, sharp, overwhelming, stabbing sensations. At the age where I was developing my own sense of self, I was told that my experience was not real, that I looked fine. Get off the floor, stop crying, and go to school, I was told. I learned that the people I loved most around me weren't safe enough for my truth to be expressed without being punished, rejected, or shamed. Years later, I was in a car accident and it changed my whole life. It left me initially stuck in bed with shooting chronic pain throughout my whole body and a host of other issues. Once again, the story was the same. You look fine. This time, not only coming from loved ones, but also from the system that was supposed to help me heal. I even overheard a loved one say, "She needs to get over it." Something inside me shattered and deepened the pain. Suffering in silence while carrying the weight of others' disbelief is a heavy burden. I gathered important teachings along my pain journey. Judgment is easy. Compassion takes courage. And when we judge by appearance, we miss the sacred truth of someone's lived experience. Pain doesn't always show on the surface. Suffering doesn't always have visible proof. Yet it can live in the body, in the breath, in the quiet spaces between words. Every soul deserves to be witnessed, not questioned, not fixed, just seen. Fully, openly, with gentle care. In that space, something deeper began to awaken within me. The realization that I don't need to hide anymore, that my truth is not too much, and I am safe within my own body to express freely. My body's wisdom is sacred and deserves a voice. My sweet childhood self deserves a voice. The one who held her belly in pain, crying on the cold floor. The one who needed someone to believe her, who needed softness, compassion, presence, and patience. Who just needed someone to sit beside her and say, "I see you. You are safe here. I love you."
Thank you, Vasilisa. Thank you, Vasilisa. Our third story in this session, Sprout Vulnerably, was created by Tanis Laird.
I need to believe that the plants and the trees experience euphoria when it's windy. I need to believe they feel anticipation to dance again in the storms. Does it hurt if their branches bend or break? I was rich and poor in my childhood. Rich that I grew up in a river valley forest in the heart of a city in a community of artists. I played in fields of grasses and sunflowers. I had greenhouse neighbors that smelled like petunias in the summer, and my mother's garden was full of flowers and trees that would grow taller than our house. My mother told stories about how our family gardened. She also spent time with friends gardening. It's a fairly accessible hobby with a low income. A few cheap pots from the thrift store, some free plants from friends, water, compost, sunshine. My mother also taught me about different types of pain: physical, emotional, financial and psychological, chronic and systemic. My mother taught me how to fight for your life, how to survive. The plants and flowers taught us both how to thrive. In the garden, my mother's nervous system was soothed. Today, in the garden, I meet her as an ancestor. In the garden, I can grieve. In the garden, my nervous system is soothed. I meet my father in the raspberry canes like I'm 9 again, and he asks me to guess which hand the berries are in. My grandfather meets me in the irises and calls me that loving nickname I haven't heard in over 40 years. I meet my grandmother in the pansies. She giggles at their smiling flower faces like she's a little girl again. In the garden, I meet my great aunt. She shares photos of the dahlias she grew in her community garden, and we meet for tea and tomatoes again. I meet my best friend Babs in her garden with her cats and catnip. We lament love and the impermanence of nature. I meet each of these ghosts in the garden. My mom interrupts and reminds me that pulling weeds is good for getting the anger out. Babs laughs at how fragile and ironic these garden metaphors are. My aunties, they remind me that crying while watering is cathartic, and there's definitely no sarcasm detected. I remember how Mum changed her gardening as she aged. We'd said to become friends. Less was more. I changed the way I move outdoors too. Even though the work hurts, it's a privilege. In the garden, I meet the plants, and they meet me, and they teach me. Small things are big things are small. Death and life is nature's law. Sprout vulnerably, rupture hurts, work aches. It is an act of love to grow. Patience. You can't hurry growth. The snails and the slugs, they reap many rewards in my strawberry patch. Treat the problem at the roots. Always hydrate deeply. Bend, break, dance in the wind.
Thank you, Tanis. Our final digital story of today's session is by Ada Glustein, entitled Turning the Page.
In the beginning, it was all I could think about, all I could feel. Gnawing on my right hip and every inch of my thigh, my leg and foot. Chronic pain. I was referred to one specialist after another, each with a different diagnosis, none with a cure. So I began to research remedies to get rid of pain, or at least to lessen it. I was on my own. Wanting to assess my situation, I drove up to Little Mountain and wrote in my journal a list of all my losses. It was long. I reread it. and turned the page. This time it was different. I soon found other ways of turning the page. I joined a meditation group that met once a week, and then I attended my first meditation retreat. It was led by a well-known teacher who focused on the topic of spaciousness. As she guided the first meditation, she asked, "As you sit here, calming the mind, is there anything unpleasant or distressful grabbing your attention?" My mind sprang into action. Oh God, how did she know? Pain. Yes, pain. "How much of your mind is this taking up?" she asked. "All of it," I thought. "The whole bloody thing. Every last synapse and neuron." "And how is that landing in your body?" "It's killing me. I don't know how long I'll be able to take it." She went on. "Can you imagine creating a space around that unpleasantness?" I could see pain stuck inside that space. "Examine this pain," she said. "Investigate it thoroughly. What are its qualities, its dimensions?" "Its qualities?" "Aching, penetrating, never-ending, stopping me from dancing through life." "And its dimensions?" "Well, it's taking up my right hip and right thigh and, oh no, I've been letting it take up my whole mind." "What else is there?" she asked. "What is in the space beyond the pain?" Oh my God, there's the rest of me. My whole other side, my head, my hands, my body, my life. They're all still here, functioning, and I never noticed or felt grateful until now. I had turned another page. The last meditation from that retreat was called Big Sky. We were asked to see our thoughts, emotions, and sensations as clouds in the sky. Clouds are not solid, and although the pain felt completely solid to me, I could imagine how I experienced it as ephemeral, coming and going like clouds. Even if clouds are dark or cover the whole sky in a terrible storm, I realized there's always blue sky and sunshine beyond. I was becoming someone with a new attitude, a new way of looking at and living with pain. I continue turning the page.
Thank you, Ada. And thank you to Sandra and the Alberta SPOR Unit and to Divya and the Chronic Pain Network for the opportunity to engage in these stories and make incredible meaning for all of us. I am feeling a lot of emotions right now, friends. So we have a few minutes before we close and have another 15-minute break. And unexpectedly, I'd like to invite the storytellers just to check in a little bit, and we have probably about a minute each to chit chat amongst each other. Thank you, Carolyn, for spotlighting everyone. Tanis, are you okay if how about no? Let's go in chronological order. Heather, how are you? How was your heart today? How was it for you?
My heart is full. Having been together again and listening to each other again, it's brought all of the joy and the community and the feelings back, and it's wonderful. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Heather. Tanis, how about you? How's your heart, love?
I feel really grateful. This was one tiny culmination of this project that we started in the spring, late spring, and it was intense. It was this intensive learning how to make our stories about pain translate into a digital format for the internet. And that's no easy task to learn editing and narratives and storytelling and be emotionally vulnerable with a bunch of beautiful strangers. It's been a wonderful experience. I feel really grateful for this and this project and all of you. So it's been wonderful to be here today and just have this moment. Thank you, Ada, and thank you, Heather, and thank you, Sandra, and thank you, Jenny, and thank you, everybody. Yeah.
Thanks, Tanis. Ada, I just got distracted by a comment in the chat that says thank you, Ada, and the others as well. I could feel your intent as you were watching. Ada, how are you today? How's your heart?
Well, my heart is pretty full, I guess, because I had just watched the previous session, Jenny, that you had hosted, and I'm still full from that it really impacted me a lot. And today with our presentations, I was kind of shocked looking at them this morning because it's been a while since I've seen them. And I thought, how did I miss this? How come I only thought that was in it? It was more intense for me, and I noticed so much more than I did the first time. I think the first time I'd watched them through, I was very conscious about myself and how mine was going to look. And this time I was able to watch more freely and take in everybody else's. And yeah, it's been lovely. Lovely to see you all here.
Thank you. And thanks, Sandra, for that lovely, lovely words of congratulations in the chat. And please, I'm going to speak about this in a sec. And Sandra has lovingly shared the continuation of this project in the chat as well. So as we close off, thank you for holding space for these 4 incredibly powerful stories. Ooh, I'm going to say one thing about Vasilisa is that when we were, because she isn't here today, I also want to give her acknowledgement and credit. One of the things that she shared when she was sharing it originally was that she created it with the idea of talking to her younger self in mind, and this is how she would speak to herself. So, and that stayed with me quite a bit. You could see that in her video project. All right, so thank you for holding space for these incredibly powerful stories. Thank you for the love that you're sharing in the emojis. Thank you for the love-ins in the chats and like all of this love bombing in the individual panelist chat. So each one, as you can see, represents hours of reflection, writing, and technical effort. And we deeply appreciate the courage and vulnerability and creativity of our storytellers. Join us later this week, as I mentioned earlier, for the remaining 4 digital stories on Thursday, November 6th at 11:15 a.m. Pacific, 12:15 a.m. p.m. Mountain, 2:15 p.m. Eastern, and 3:15 p.m. Atlantic time. If today's session resonated with you, and we hope it does, we invite you to join us for a special 2-hour event on January 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific or 1 p.m. Eastern. Sandra has helpfully put that link in the chat. This event will highlight the digital storytelling project as a whole and offer an open opportunity to converse with the storytellers. So if you have capacity to scan the QR code, that will lead you directly into the Eventbrite link. Otherwise, just click on the link that Sandra has shared in the chat. And we'll also make this information available in the resources or the exhibit page in the Zoom events. So discover how storytelling can impact research, healthcare, advocacy, and healing, and providing an opportunity to reflect and share insights and learnings with healthcare professionals, researchers, people with lived and situated experience, and the broader community. We hope to see you all there. So thank you again for being part of this session and therefore our stories.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Jenny, and everybody for sharing your stories. I really appreciate the different ways that people can express their stories. And I know it was lovely to see these digital storytelling videos. And then yesterday we saw art. And, there's so many different ways to express our stories of pain. And so I think it's really lovely that we've been able to integrate those throughout the conference this week. We're going to take another break for about 15 minutes. But before you do that, I just wanted to remind folks that there is a short survey that will appear on your screen when this session ends, and we would really appreciate your feedback. On the PTPT steering committee, we really take time to go through that feedback and really use it to inform how we move forward in what we'll be doing next year. So please take time to do that. We'd love to hear your voices. Our next session is helping you help yourself. So we're going to come back at 12 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. EST. Okay, we'll see everyone there.